Hey guys, ScrawtVermillion here, accompanied by the one and only Shiki, the dog. And first of all, I want to thank everyone for the support on the new content channel. And if you're enjoying this type of content, please hit me with the big like, with a subscribe and the bell. We are having bi-weekly updates every Wednesday, so please make sure to check out every one of our videos. Let us know what would you like to see. Say bye.
It's time, fellas. I've been waiting for this one. Like, Scrod, are you gonna do a tier list for this patch? You haven't done a tier list for this patch. Like, who's top tier? Who's broken? Who's broken? Thankfully, I don't think the game has a Mickey Mouse broken top 1 tier. It may, but I don't think the power scaling is that, that high that it requires an extra tier. 13th place at Evo, by the way. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Best character in the game? I mean, y'all saw it on our last video. By the way, Luca, the PCL guide if you're interested. I think this character is a complete package, man. Nowadays, she does everything. Like, good movement speed, insane neutral, like above average damage. She controls so many matchups. I don't think she has a bad matchup. Straight up, I don't think she has a weakness. She is a little bit more tame now. PCL, I will say, has a couple characters are keeping her in check. And because of the buffs to zoners, she is broken, but not unbeatable. And we'll go over them when we go into them, okay? Insane character. Now, you guys remember this character right here got like 2 pages of nerfs. That did absolutely nothing. And the nerfs were targeted towards like her negative edge orbs, and they kind of also buffed her normal orbs. But in practice, the character kind of plays the same. She still kind of has all the tools, access to the best mix-ups in the game, the best overhead in the game, cross-up breaks, combo throw. Arguably the best moon skill in the game currently. This friggin' move right here, look at it, goes to Narnia. Frame 10 goes to Narnia. Just freaking pillar. Just pew! In there. It is disgusting. I think her barrier of entry, I don't know if it has like reduced, but I think people have since understood what needs to be done with the character, right? She's always been up there. We've always known she's a menace. I'm glad to see that NA finally is waking up and we're getting good pilots for the character. Really awesome to see, man. I think Optimal Oko, it's frustrating as hell, to fight, but it's so cool to watch. So it's always a pleasure. All right, brother. I'm conflicted because I was gonna put out Akiha, but I don't think Akiha has a good matchup versus characters. Maybe PCL, but I don't think she has a good matchup versus this or this. So now now it's when it begins. Okay, Warwick's already a menace, and I think this might be the character that got the most benefits out of the system changes of the game. Warwick's weaknesses on the previous patch were like, okay, she's very hungry for moon gauge. Specifically, she has amazing moon skills, so she often had to spend a lot of gauge just to do like her optimals, to build a good amount of meter, just to put pressure and to mash out, as we're gonna go in a second. This made it so that her BMB, it's neutral on moon gauge, and it builds you a bar. So if you're in a good position on your moon economy, you don't really have to, bother too much about that. You can also just go straight up positive, and you can charge after. You can do a lot of things with that. That means that small change means that Warwick can now abuse her neutral moon skills more efficiently because she has more access to them than before. At this point in time, I am firmly believe that this is the best moon skill in the game. Top 3 contender, minimum, bro. This huge ass headbox is frame 6. She can jump cancel after, and if you get hit by it, you lose like half your health. You have to be very patient on fighting Warwick. She can steal turns really easily, especially now. So even though her EXDP might be one of the weakest ones in the game, I think her overall defense, once you start blocking things or being, like her general RPS, it's solid. I think Arc comes next. Personally speaking, I've always thought she's strong. Probably one of the characters I have the least to talk about. It's just a matter of where she stands in comparison to her peers. Now, she's one of those characters that has to play rushdown. So, you know, like already versus a zoner meta, as I like to call it, it's kind of hard. But unlike other characters that are rushdowns that are also in this category, she has probably the best speed and some of the best buttons to get the job done. And I think actually Arc goes pretty well against PCO. It's like a solid 5-5 from what I've seen. It's so funny is that like this is like my point of contender. Who is the best girl, Chad? I don't know. Who's the best girl? My arguments for Ciel is that the patch did her amazing, right? Like amazing. Just the fact that Black Key is already such a spammable tool, such a good neutral tool, such a good pressure tool, and she's so much safer because the main counterplay to Black Key was also shield. And like I said before, the reward of shield was gutted. But it allowed characters that were already solid, because Ciel's also been one of these, staple top tier characters, to feel even more stable. Probably, the weakest part of her is the mix-up. Her mix-up has always been honest, always being very strike throw heavy. That's not her forte. Her forte is just her amazing buttons. Her JB been broken good in neutral. Her J being broken good in neutral. Her black keys, her dash speed. It's always been about that. It's never really been about 50-50. It's one of those characters, man. The patch notes didn't really address like the pages of changes for her. It wasn't really like that big. It's just the overall changes to how the game is played now. The fact that, for example, she can use more moon skills. If your character can use moon skills, they immediately got better because they can always have access to their EX enders. So their EX enders often mean they get a mix-up. Okay, so now, oof, man, the fall-off. I don't want to get this. I don't want to like ignore this character though. Raw might be the biggest loser of the patch, right? Like lost access to his best mix-up after throw. He gets a safe jump now after throw, which it's good, but it's not a 50-50. So yeah, I think Raw is in a weird spot right now in the game. I don't know. I don't think Raw died, but it's in one of those places that kind of feels redundant to play him. You could just play like Wark. Quite honestly, you can just play Wark. His offense is still good. He still kind of does what he wants. He has amazing like damage output, amazing offense, even though, ever since the two-way nerf, ever since that, it became a little easier to deal with his stagger pressure. For Roa, that button is like crucial, and they kind of got gutted. So I kind of feel for them. Everything that he was doing, he still does, but it's a little worse. And it's really interesting to see him fall off from top 3 to, it's still solid, but there's so many top tiers, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6. I think I'm going to close it at 7. Yeah, I guess we're going to go with that take. I'm going to put 7 top tiers. Honestly, like the gaps between these tiers are so minuscule anymore. Like this game is so balanced, man. They did a great job with this patch. Alright, this character. Where are my Akihas in North America? What happened, bro? Like, we really had to have Shiho come over here and beat everyone up. Bro, we really had to have Shiho come over, bro. And I couldn't even play. I couldn't attend Climax of Night, bro. You talk to a Japanese player, you've seen their latest tier list. This character is like here. It's crazy. To be quite frank, she has the best offense in the game, which makes me question this placement. But I think the biggest difference is that Akiha's neutral is not that it's bad, but it's flawed. While I think Arc has the tools to win. Like, she can get in on these characters and not have to do like risk a lot or spend a lot of resources or play really turtle and very from behind. Akika kind of has to do that, and I would suggest everyone just to watch the grand finals of Climax of Night. I think that was like the best example of why Shiho, the way he won, he had to come up with a strategy on how to outplay Medusa on Vlov, right? Like how to navigate the neutral. And quite frankly, Medusa won that grand finals. He just dropped the combo. Like, quite frankly, Medusa, in my book, Medusa won. Aki is saying that in Japan, they made a survey, and the top 2 were Aoko and Akiha, but Akiha won top 1. That's what I'm saying. I feel that's so interesting. Alright, I think the gap between these is pretty small. So bear with me. My boy has fallen from grace. I don't wanna cope too much. Okay, I'll try to keep it objective. But I think Coma is one of the biggest losers of the patch after Roa. It's just that he's very anti-meta. Like, the changes that happen with the game don't really benefit him at all. He doesn't really use moon skills in combos that well. We have routes that do it now, but it's not consistent that you can do it all the time. You have moon skill routes, but it's not amazing in my opinion. Especially because they killed 2-2C Oki. It's repurposed. Now you don't get an extra moon gauge when you end combos in 2-2C. And if you understand what I'm talking about is, up to this point, if you want to spend a moon skill and an EX move, you end up moon neutral. Meaning, if you have 50% moon gauge, and you use a moon skill in a combo, and you use a EX move, you still have enough for a BC shield in case you need it defensively. As Coma, you have to make a choice on what you want to do. Before, it felt like every option that you do was good. So, of course, we have this Rekaoki. Rekaoki, amazing. Obviously, super strong. And then you got 2-2C Oki, which is good. But you also get the EX. When you're not doing a spend EX bar, you could spend on 2-2C or you could spend on 2-1-4C. Depending on, what mix-up you wanted to use. Now, you kind of forced to go one path. I just think they made him a little bit lamer. Because now he kind of just does Rekaoki on you over and over and over and over. And doing 2-2C Oki is kind of like not encouraged. They nerf his 2B, the best anti-air in the game. Well deserved. Quite honestly, that button did everything and more. But yeah, I just think Coma is taking the same boat as Akiha. But might be a little bit more extreme. He loses versus all these characters, quite frankly. Like, I don't think he wins any of these matchups. Maybe Arcueid, he can like 5-5 her. But I don't think he wins any of these matchups. Coma, when he gets in, he gets in. When he gets in, he gets in. That's just how it is, right? When he gets in, I don't care if you're the best character in the game. I don't care who you are. You're getting schmixed. But to get to that point, And I would say, if you want to do that, then just play Akiha. It's kind of like the same idea, but Akiha has better movement. And I would argue her offense is better. Coma Bros. It's rough, bro. Chat, which character is better? Vlov is interesting. He's such a cool history with this character, especially in North America, right? This is the region of Vlov. Funnily enough, Vlov is winning all the tournaments in Japan now, when he is weaker than what he was before. Similarly to these characters, he benefits a lot from the shield changes, right? Like, his main thing are projectiles. Getting hit by shield BC is not as bad. He can punish B shield for free on almost every scenario. He spaces himself to be safe for most shield follow-ups anyway. So he's an amazing spot on that. And his moon skills are amazing. The problem with Vlov is not that he's bad, it's that he's good. But my man got power crept to shit. You know, he's still the best zoner in the game. Obviously has the best projectiles, especially in the ice mode, right? So, you know, Alka's not going to steal his spot on that niche, right? Like, PCL doesn't really play like that. Wark doesn't really play like... She plays like a neutral dominator. Like, she controls the mid-range more than the full screen. So, it's not that they do what he does. It's that they kind of just are better in the long scheme of things. They don't have the weaknesses that Vlov has. You know, he doesn't have a 5-frame button. That already is pretty weak. He relies on the system mechanics. The system mechanics are good, but I mean, if you don't want that to be your only way out, because heat is, first of all, really easy to bait, and second of all, you spend on your bar, and he's very meter hungry, super meter hungry character, because all his moves are good. That's the problem, man. It's just his defense is very reliant on having resources. So you have to play very smart. You can't just, you know, like for example with Wark, having one stage of Moon Gauge is all you need to 6BC out. Right? Like, you minus frames? Oh, 6BC, I'm out. GG. Or, oh, I'm gonna Moon Skill Ring, I'm out. You know, However, you know, if you're counting, he's still in the top 10. So I don't want you to believe this character is dead. The biggest point of discussion after Akiha and Vlov, I think, is Saber. Every other region thinks Saber sucks since the start of the freaking game, man. And since season 2, I think NA has understood that Saber is the gorilla. Oh my god. I hate this character. Where do I start with Saber? It's always been the same, man. Dive kick is amazing. All her dive kicks are good. All of them. All of them are amazing. Her dash speed is good. Her B Rekka is one of the best pokes in the game. I'm not even kidding anymore. It's such a good poke. It reaches far. It's safe. It leads into plus frames. So for her to get started, it's amazing. Like an amazing tool to engage and like kind of like and neutral. Honestly, she just gets in. She does whatever she wants. She wants to get in by air. She can mix her landing, and her dive kick cancels into 2-2C for plus frames. She's plus 8 in your face. I don't think her offense is as scary as like Arcueid. I think that's the big difference. I always compare these two characters because they're both like rush down heavy characters. I think Arc's offense is a little scarier than Saber's. I don't think Saber's offense is bad. All right, Mario Bros. We're in there though. Mario Bros. We're standing strong. What happened in Mario this patch? Honestly, good stuff. I think Mario did not have the 6BC into 214C before, into mix-up. He got it now. So to add to his arsenal, I think his offense is a little bit stronger. His combos, I think, might be just that people are getting better at finding routing for Mario, but I feel like he can get whatever mix-up he wants and at this point. Now, let's be realistic. I don't think Mario beats a lot of these characters. In fact, out of the zoners, because Mario's not really like a zoner, he's definitely like the weakest in that front. And he has like, his air normals are not the best. He did get, you know, that JA buff some time ago, which did help a lot. The biggest weakness Mario had in the past is that Mario had to give up damage for Oki. He's the only character in the game, I think one of the few, that had to keep combos short if he wanted the mix-up that he wanted. Now, it's not that big of an issue, I think. And I think that puts him in a much more competitive spot. It's just that these characters are amazing, man. Now, the game gets good. Okay. I think Daniel... We gotta address Dan. It's tough though. Oh god. Cause I have a lot of characters that I have maybe to cut off high tier. Honestly, one of the most improved characters, right? Like she got like new routings especially thanks to the moon skill change that she can just straight up use to get mix-ups. Like I just saw yesterday that she got a cross-up break in the corner, which was really whack because you had to give up a lot of damage back in the days. Now there's routes that guarantee it and look amazing and are freaking swag. It's just hard to play. Executionally demanding, but that doesn't affect us in the tier list discussion, of course. We're assuming optimal play. For DIN, I feel it's just like her air buttons are good, but they're not that amazing. Like the JC has good down reach, but when she fights like straight up, not the best. So that means that she has to pick and choose like her spots, maybe way more than other characters. And of course, like her mix-up is good, but it's really a matter of resources. If the opponent has resources, then she can't commit to some options in her Oki, and if the opponent knows that the opponent knows, then you can make the DAM player guess on their Oki. And I've always thought that's kind of whack, quite frankly. It's really awkward. It's a matter, I think when you fight DAN, it's a matter of resources, and because it's a little bit easier to keep resources, most notably Moondrive, it might be a little bit easier to fight her. Oh man, who's better? No, I ain't high tier here. Wait, what the I'm smoking crack, hold up. She got amazing changes, ever since the moon skill items. I think this was this patch that she got the moon skill items. So for those who know, moon skill item toss used to be straight up random. She just threw random crap at you. And I think it was this patch. She got it so she can choose what items you can throw. That changed the character so much. It is insane, man. Yeah, you needed to anti-air people like crazy. and that you didn't get the correct item and you would get hit. That was so frustrating. Dude, that button is like, it's so good. It's such a good moon skill. It's a very, very good moon skill. Hisui's neutrals always being like hit or miss. You know, the thing is that she's like amazing at offense. She has amazing mix-ups, super good block strengths. The best Earth Throw Oki in the game, after Akiha, I think. I think they're contenders for the best Oki in the game. Really interesting that Hisui and Akiha are kind of like the same idea. But Hisui is better, a little better neutral, right? It's a little better neutral. But Akiha is a little better everything else. And it's just that just shows you that this game is not just all neutral, right? Like, I've talked stability, I've talked everything. I think Akiha kind of just breaks the mold and shows you that, no, I mean, if you just hit them with an unfuzzyable triple overhead, they kind of gotta get ahead eventually. Alright, I'm gonna close high tier. I'm gonna close it with a hot take, bro. I was gonna put Uchi Wakamaru. Alright, bro. Fight me. Fight me. I want to major with this character. One of the best, most buff characters because of the system mechanics. She has so many good moon skills. She's a little anti-meta character. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't think she's amazing. She's like your little Shoto, she's like your Tono. You know, like nothing too crazy. It's the problems with Mash is just her frigging offense is god awful, man. I have to showcase y'all what I'm talking about. Alright. Look at the pushback. Look at the pushback. Look at the pushback. Why? Compare. Bro. It's in your face, bro. What the hell, bro? Come on it. Why? If she and her offense were a little better, she'd be like, here. I'm not even joking, man. Like, I was hooked with this character, dude. She's so fun. Now, would people say, why aren't you maining her then? I don't know. I don't know. I just like Homa. I'm gonna close high tier on that. I think this character should have been here, but I'm being freaking selfish. Oh my god, this character's so cheap. I hate her. Some of the most obnoxious special moves in this game. The 6-3 moves, the jump forward with the slash, that move is cheap, broken as hell. She can cancel into plus frames. Her mix-ups are some of the best in the game. She gets the mirrorless, she gets the wind mirror, she gets corner steals that are super hard to find, to see. I don't want to be rude, man, but I just feel the player base of Uchi Wakamaru needs to lock in and stop doing meme resets. Just go for your mix-up. Your max damage combos into mix-up and you will win. The way she goes about the game, it's a little different than your typical character. Like, imagine if you play Melty Blood Actress again. Imagine Nana Yashiki if he was good. That's Uchi Wakamaru. It's like that faint mix, like tricky mix-up character with weird movement that is gonna ruin your day. That's Uchi Wakamaru. That's what she is. Oh no! Don't peer pressure me, chat. Oh, okay. Okay, I do it. Oh my god, I hate it. You need to do it so we can spread the most balanced fighting game agenda. You know what? I like that excuse, bro. Now we're in an interesting position. We have to balance these people. Alright, first of all, I like symmetry. I like my symmetry, so I'm gonna put Uchi Wakamaru back here. I'm sorry. I honestly think Noel's pretty good, quite frankly. She's just like your typical Shiro archetype. She has amazing buttons. Her J's is amazing. In the ground, her buttons are not the best, but her herb buttons are like a menace, in my opinion. So remember what we were talking about the meta? The meta right now is using your moon skill to get meter positive combos to keep the cycle going and keep your mix-up going. Noel can do it, but you need to spend extra keys, and you need the keys for plus frames, and play neutral, right? And fight in scrambles, and do a lot of things. So that's why she's kind of not playing the meta of the current patch. That's where she kind of fell off in my book. You know, one of those characters you want to learn the game with. I think she's amazing. And I think she Low-key, I think she can win majors still. I never thought that she's mega, like, it's bad or anything like that. Compared to the other characters, I feel they have an easier time right now accomplishing their strategy. While Noelle is not that it's hard, it's that it didn't change as much. Now, we got Lo Shu and Pro Tag Power. I think Lo Shu wins. Dude, the thing about Miyako, it's always been... She has so many weird... she's hard to hit confirm with. There are some confirms where she doesn't do damage. Her air confirms, some are good. It depends on... She's very meter hungry to get, like, damage going. Like, to do things that other characters do for free. So, her offense might be one of the best in the game, though. It's one of these, like, coma factors, but to the 10th power, where, like, I feel... Dude, her neutral is, like, so... It's a little rough. With a good player, like someone that can, you know, catch you with punish your movement. She doesn't really have, like, that amazing of a time versus, like, the neutral dominator meta right now. When you put people in the corner, you can win, right? But it is super hard to pilot. And this, my boy has, oh my god, Tono, the biggest fall off of all time. Okay, I think Tono was made, you know, like, obviously he was probably made on the early stages of type Lumina. He does not operate within the typical type Lumina block strings, right? That you do a block string and then you use EX move for plus frames and get a mix-up. He doesn't work like that. He kind of works like old Melty Blood. The problem with that is that old Melty Blood had better reverse beat pressure. You know, that's when, you know, when you cancel buttons into lower level buttons to recover faster. In this game, that is it is good. But it's not, like, amazing. And honestly, like, when you do a rebeat, usually in a range where, like, your options are very telegraphed. I think Mash is better Tono, which is so funny, because Tono used to be Mash but better. Just like one patch ago, it's all it took. He's just there. Like, at the Mr. Average right now, very sad. This character is not here. This character is here. Will I move Mash down? Hell yeah, I do. I keep my symmetry, okay? Fellas, wake up! Mace is broken. No, okay, okay, I'll put her back, okay? She's my girl, okay? She's my girl, I'll put her back, I put it back. So, you will say, Scrawt, isn't Hisui and Mates the same? No! They don't play the same. At all. Usually, you pilot Kohaku. Kohaku on her own, as you may predict, is not very good. However, Sister Love can go beyond tears. There's a part of the code on this game that, you know, when you send a projectile and that person gets hit, the projectile disappears. But for the sake of argument, these two are separate characters, so separate entities. As such, when Hisui sets up her bento on the ground and switches to Kohaku, the bento doesn't go away when you hit Kohaku because you have to hit Hisui for it to disappear. Therefore, if you do combos that give you enough time to set up bentos, you can set up a minefield that makes the opponent not able to press buttons, contest you, move around, etc. They have to play around the freaking mine. Such an ingenious playstyle. You're kinda encouraged to play both mates, which I think is the coolest part about this character. It's one of the most technical characters in the game, because you have to play two characters with limited tools, limited moveset, but you can still cook. You get unseeable bento explosion mix-ups, you get the minefields, you can do whatever you want. You can adjust to the matchups. Maybe on matchup you prefer playing Hisui. You can play Hisui mates. It's weaker, but you get other benefits in the offense side, right? Now, low tiers. Oh god, Kohaku bros. I'm so sorry, Kohaku bros. You are low tier. The big difference, like I said, not having access to the minefields means that you cannot force people to sit down or kind of play around your buttons, you know, play around your stuff. It's so rough. You get access to the Magical Broom special move, which players like Drakmae have shown good success with, but I think that move sucks. I always joke that Kohaku is paying her sins from Actress Again. If you don't know that, in my tier list, I always say she is the best character in the game. In Actress Again. She's paying for her sins. You know, you gotta understand. Her only good thing in my book is 6BC. The Moonskill Battle. That move is pretty good. But she can only cancel that move into EX Battle. So she can't even do the big combo from that. She can only cancel into an EX move to get Oki. That's all she does. Goha bros, you all should spend your time learning mates. Alright. Dante bros. I don't know why there's so many of you. First of all, there's so many of you. What the hell? Second of all, I'm sorry. When they designed Dante, I don't know why they made it this way. The whole gimmick of Dante is that he has special moves from all the other characters. But it's all bad versions of those moves. He has like, it's the only other character I think next to Vlov that doesn't have a 5-frame button. Why? You know, nothing in his kit will tell you, oh, this character shouldn't be able to mash. I think, yeah, my theory is that someone at French Red does not like Dante. And he was, you know, they were kind of forced to put him in. And they were like, oh, you know what? Man. A bad version of Aoka's projectile. A bad version of Saber's Rekka. And all these he does is, he's a strike throw character. Has a good 50-50. And after a couple EX moves, and he has a pretty good arc drive. He has a commander arc drive just like Koma that goes a little further if I recall correctly. Why was he built like that? I have no clue. For example, like I think these characters, they have major flaws, but they can play the game. I think these characters are fundamentally broken. Like they don't work properly. And you know, last but not least, 13th place at Evo, by the way. Call for help. I'm not gonna say Neko is a pick to lose. I mean, it is a pick to lose, but you can win, I guess. Sometimes it is what it is. You know, she just doesn't do damage. Obviously, her like special moves are not even bad, and her air attacks are not even bad either. She has like the Luigi attack, like she does like the Luigi hover jump from the Mario games. I think that overhead is cheap. Because she has like a 50-50 after the implosion move. That she can set it up pretty well, quite frankly. And her DP is actually obnoxious to punish. Her combo, her B&B is actually hard. I tried her B&B the other day, and like, dude, it's difficult. What the hell? Why? If you think that you can fix her, I'm not gonna stop you. I will judge you. I think this is such a funny representation of this game, is that so many strong characters, and then these characters, they're aight, and then this character is bad, and then this is the abyss. This is the list, guys. Let me know what you all thought. Usually by May we get new patches. I am hoping that we get a patch this year. We've been getting yearly updates and content. So I hope they deliver. I don't think METL is over. The devs have said it themselves, right? So yeah, let me know what you think. That's it.